Hey friends, and welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to take you through my October budget recap in my Google Sheets doc I have right in front of me right here. And I'm going to take you through it and show you how we spent our money in October, how we did, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, so keep watching. As you can see, we were like $150-ish over on income this month, which was great. Obviously, we had a little bit more income come in than we were anticipating in October, which if you guys have been watching the channel for the last few months, any extra income is like huge for us. So that's been really helpful. All of these normal fixed expenses, I won't go through like exact because you guys have seen this before if you've watched, or you can read it. But basically everything was on budget. The only thing that wasn't was Netflix. We had thought that Netflix, we would have to start paying for it again in November. We thought that like the gift card covered that much, but apparently we were wrong. So we had to pay Netflix. It like came out of my checking account and I was like, Ben, what is this? Like I have no idea what this is. And he's like, oh, that's Netflix. So that's where that's at. So we spent just about $12.76 over budget on fixed expenses because a couple of other things were like under by like a few cents, like our health insurance or Ben's health insurance. So moving on from that, we paid all of our normal debt expenses. Again, we were about $16 over on one of the Discover cards. I didn't have enough budgeted. For some reason, Discover credit cards, because I have one, I can't log into Ben's credit card. So like I just have to go based on what he tells me the budget is for his debt that month, and he told me the wrong number, so that's basically what happened. But thankfully it was only like $16. This card was $1 less. This card was $8 less than we were anticipating. So and $154 less on this student loan. So basically we went like $5 over on debt this month. So in total between fixed and debt, we spent about $4,900. Moving on from there, our variable expenses, I almost said non-fixed expenses, but our variable expenses, we actually have started from a different income source paying our groceries as much as we can with cash, which has been really helpful. So we didn't use this whole amount, which is great, but we actually spent over on groceries in October. We probably spent closer to $800 on groceries. So that was like not great, but like from what you guys are seeing, it looks like we went under budget, but I promise you we did not. We never go under budget on groceries. Even though I was gone 2 weeks in October, we still didn't go under on groceries because Benjamin loves to eat. So not a bad problem though. Obviously, if we're gonna go over on something, I would rather that it was groceries versus like clothing or something, whatever. So restaurants, I went literally $109 over on restaurants. Some of this was like from my California trip that I did earlier in October. And then I did not feel well the last couple weeks of October. And not that that's an excuse, but like there's a lot of like little charges where I went to like Starbucks, or I went to Qdoba, or I got myself like lunch because I had to go to work. I'm less likely to buy myself lunch when I'm home because I can make my own food. And also it's like not super easy to get places. I live in the suburbs, so I have to like drive 10 or 15 minutes. So I can talk myself out of that a lot. But when I'm at work in downtown Chicago, like, and I want to get out of the office anyway to like go get away from people telling me what to do. I like to take walks and like get myself lunch. So there were a couple days that I did that. I knew that we were going to be under budget on a few other things. So I just like spent it, not thinking. So definitely went over budget in that category. There's also like, we spent money when my mom was here. We bought her dinner one day because she like kept buying us food, which was so nice of her. So yeah, it's just like random. That's my long-winded way of saying that we went over budget on restaurants and coffee shops. My medication, we were like way under this month on, which is good because we went way over on a lot of other things. So I'm glad that I was under on this, but as you can see, like, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where I'm putting my little face in editing mode, but basically supplements and medication are expensive. And like, unfortunately, Ben and I both take a lot of both of those things. So that's just the way that life is. Moving on, household, we went like $7 over. We had like to get soap, and we had like a Target trip and a bunch of other like little things. Haircuts, I canceled my haircut this month, which I was like super bummed and like butthurt about. I was not very happy. I have not gotten my haircut in like over a year. Thankfully, like when you have long hair, it's not as noticeable. But for me, like I can feel my hair breaking, and like, I don't know if you can see that. A lot of dead ends. I really want to get, is it dead ends? Whatever. I really want to get my hair cut shorter, because when my hair is long, I just wear it up all the time, versus when it's shorter, I have to do it, which sounds counterintuitive to probably most people, but I love my hair. It's probably like one of the features of myself that I've always loved. And that's coming from someone with like really bad self-confidence. So like, I just want to do my hair every day, and I just don't want to with my long hair because it just gets in my way all the time. Anyway, I didn't get a haircut this month. I'm hoping that I can fit it in the next 2 months, but currently didn't get that done. Ben didn't spend any personal money. I spent $6 getting some debt trackers from my girl. And like, so I spent like $6 on those, which were super cheap. In fact, they're right here. Woo! Penny's not perfection. I have like 1,000 of them printed. So I wanted to support her. Plus I love debt trackers. So they were really inexpensive. So I bought a couple, and I had the budget for it. Therapy, we only ended up spending $20. We had, because I was gone 2 weeks, and then our therapists were gone, of course, like the week that I came back. So I didn't go to therapy for almost a month individual. And then we went to couples therapy one night, and then we went the second time, and we got there and she had forgotten to cancel our appointment. So she like had another obligation that she had to go to, but because, and it wasn't a big deal. We live like literally 2 minutes from our therapist. So it really wasn't a big deal, but because of that mistake, they don't make you pay for your next session because it was their mistake, and like they took time away from you, even though it wasn't a big deal. But I appreciated that. So our next session was free, which is why we only ended up paying for 2 sessions. I didn't spend any money on the doctor. And then we spent $194.10 on utilities. So just under this $200 budget. Our utilities are very expensive. I've never had to pay every single utility that a house has before. So yeah, that $200 is good, and we might even have to up that in the winter. We'll have to see. We went over about $30 on train and parking. I had to go to work this month, which like I paid for like 2 train tickets for me, which is like $100 and some, and then like Ben had 2 of them, and then we had a lot of parking. So that's like the whole reason that I want to work from home, is because that'll save us like $150 a month, which is huge. So tolls and gas, we were under, thankfully, because we were over here, so they kind of offset each other. I had 1 lift from a work party, and then we put gas in my car once, or in Ben's car once, and twice in the Trax, which is my car. But Ben drives it all the time, because if he has to drive into the city, he takes my car because it's more reliable. And then we went over budget, that should be red, on miscellaneous. Basically I bought like a meditation app, and I thought that it went through before and it didn't. So I actually, like, with that purchase of a meditation app, I put us under budget, or I put us like in the red, because it was a purchase I made at the end of the month and I thought it would come out in November, but it didn't. But thankfully Ben had already been paid, or had already paid himself, so we didn't like go negative in our account. But that's like the sucky thing about being like to zero on your budget, is like if something accidentally comes out that you weren't anticipating, it can, like, a stupid like $2 thing can like send you into the red, which is not great. Which I know is why most people have like actually put money in their miscellaneous and buffer, and I haven't been doing that. So it's just like a little thing that I need to like understand myself. And then yeah, so we were actually like we didn't spend $300 of our expenses, which is great because we went over in multiple other categories. We went over budget on Quora. We actually went way over budget on Quora, but that is a story for a different day. But for this budget, it was $125.10. So instead of our budgeted $70, and then I didn't put anything else in there. So with that, our total out was exactly like what we had left. So even though in the end, I had budgeted that we would be like coming in the red, negative $300. As you guys can see, like throughout the month, we like moved things around. That's why I really love using my Google Sheets. As much as like this new planner is fun and like I'll still be using this will be my like everyday actual budget, because I can like move things around a lot easier than in a planner. But with that, I'm still going to use both of them. So we literally had $0 income remaining. In fact, we were $3 in the red, but because we had already been paid, I just moved that over, which you guys would have seen if you saw my November budget. I like moved the $3 or however much it was, $8, over to that budget and paid that out of there. So it wasn't something that ended up being a big deal, but it could have been. And it's crazy that like $3 can like send you into that, and then you'd have like fees and crap. Though I'm pretty sure that my bank account would just pull the money from our savings. But either way, that's why you need to have a buffer. And I've just been like ignoring the buffer because we're like so to the cent right now with our budget. But obviously there's a reason that you need that. So that was our October budget recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I can't believe that it is November. We actually got a ton of snow for Halloween, which was crazy. Now the snow's all gone, but our backyard is just full of leaves. It's funny, we don't have any trees in our backyard, but like all of our neighbors have trees over our backyard, so all of their leaves are in our yard, which is not fair. But but yeah, so looking forward to the holiday season. This is also one of the hardest times of the year for me, if I'm honest. Maybe I should do like a whole video on this, but like with such a tight budget, and I had such a tight budget last year too around this time, it's really hard going into holiday season. I love giving gifts. I love getting gifts, if I'm honest. I'm not gonna lie about that. Gifts is one of my love languages, probably my highest love language, and I love giving them and I love getting them. It's really hard going into a season where like we just aren't gonna have the budget for that unless like some of these income streams that we're working toward kind of bump up in the next couple months. But even with that, we'll probably be hitting our savings and our debt a little bit more. But it's just like, it's hard. It's hard going into Black Friday, not being able to spend any money, because in years prior, I have bought a lot of like clothes and stuff during Black Friday, because I don't love spending a ton of money on clothes, but I do love clothes. And as you guys know, right now, a lot of my clothes don't fit me well. So it's kind of sad going into Black Friday knowing that I don't have a budget for it if you watched my November budget. And then going into Christmas season, like, you know, and we have a ton of unexpected but expected bills that are popping up in December for like car registration, my blog registration, Amazon Prime renewal, things like that. That is going to take up a big chunk of our budget. But one thing we are doing is we're going to have my family come into where we live, and there we're going to like have a Christmas brunch together with my family and Ben's family, which will be nice because it'll take away some of the travel that we have to do, but like we still have to pay for like food. So it could be interesting, and it's a little hard going into the holiday season, but at the same time, I love the holiday season. I'm totally one of those people that's like, Halloween is over. All you people that love Halloween can now leave me alone and let me put up my Christmas tree, okay? The only reason that it's not up yet is because my Christmas tree is in the attic, and I am terrified of the attic. I feel like there are monsters up there, and only Ben can go up there, and he is like anti-putting the Christmas tree up yet. That's the only reason that I don't have Christmas decorations up yet. So otherwise they'll be coming soon, unless we get a real tree. Anyway, I'm just like talking to you guys about random stuff. I'm gonna go. I need to go work out quick. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Let me know if you'd like me to make a video about like what we're gonna do for the holidays or whatever. But I will let you guys go with that nice little ramble at the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.